Hello and welcome, Omnidogs and Omnikittens, to Omnidog's Vault. This is the Essential Collected Editions episode for November 2020, and I have as my special guest Webhead, also known as Chris. He has an awesome release page, comic book release page, collected editions. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
What? First of all, I'm sure I'd botch it. What's the name of your website?
It is comicreleases.com.
Comicreleases.com. I will put that into the description in the below the picture that you're seeing here, where there will be a box for a description, and I'll put the address in there. It's comicreleases.com, and he has worked like crazy to get this amazing database up of collected editions. And we're going to make a disclaimer here, as I make a disclaimer all the time for these collected editions. First of all, these are the collected works that we think people will find interesting. So if your favorite book does not get mentioned, don't take it personally. And two, with COVID and everything happening, it's highly likely that we might get something wrong. It could get changed at the last second, could get pushed back a week. Something happens at this distributor, something happens at the publisher, something happens at a warehouse, blah, blah, blah. So we try as hard as we can to get this right, but it's not perfect.
It changes constantly.
Right. It does. It changes constantly. But Chris does an amazing job on that website. It features. Why don't you actually go over some of the things on comicreleases.com that are some of the features that are actually really useful?
Sure. And it might be good to share it. I'll just kind of show.
Okay.
Quickly. Just the basics of the website. So, homepage, there's a bunch of menus at the top. I've got the stuff for this week and next week, which I usually update every Sunday night, so probably after we're done here. Just to show, just a quick hit so you can see, what's coming. Like Jess does, I get a list from In-Stock Trades every week, and I go through and I proof and add things because there's like a bunch of comic companies and it's hard to keep track of all of it. So sometimes I have stuff I have to add in or move around, because even sometimes like days before I'm like, oh, this isn't coming out next week, and I have to move it again.
Right.
And then next week's just, after this week has passed, you can go to next week and see what's coming, which God knows it could change, all that kind of stuff. The other thing I've been doing, and I was kind of telling Jess about this, a lot of websites collect solicits every month, and solicitations are the basically the press that the publishers put out every month to tell you what's going to be coming up, like essentially 3 months from when they've solicited them, or more or less for collected editions. But the main idea is, like right now, just back in October, they sent out the January solicitations, and they'll put in all the comics that are coming out in January. So if you click into one of these, the main thing behind it was just to organize it, because most of the sites that do it, it's a total cluster and you can't find anything. So my main goal was, let's get it organized. So I've got 2020, into a little menu, 2021 stuff I just started. And then you can see each publisher here. They're just alphabetized as I add them. So if we click into one of these, I started the other part of the new thing I did with the format. I put all the hardcovers and stuff at the top, then trade paperbacks, and then singles, kind of fill out the rest of the stuff.
I'm already interested. I see Harley Quinn, The Hunt for Harley.
Yeah.
When is that released?
That one is March 23rd.
Ah, okay.
For now.
For now, right.
DC especially loves moving stuff around. So, So yeah, the main thing I did was, and here's the much looked forward to thing. It's been solicited now, so it's maybe not canceled.
Right. Okay. And that's the Charles Soule and Snyder.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lemire, Snyder, and Soule. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Lemire's in there too. That's right.
I think it's just the bulk of his New 52 run.
Okay.
So the previous little hardcover, I guess you call it an OHC, that one only had, I think, just Snyder's run. So this it's like twice as big as the one that's been put out before. So people have been kind of waiting on it, and they're like, yeah. But yeah, so the main thing, I put out the solicits every month. After much emailing, I've gotten into the PR list for some of them so that I can have them ready on solicit day.
Oh.
Except DC, because just like with Omar, they don't answer my emails. So fingers crossed one day they will, and then I'll have DC solicits ready to go right away as well.
Okay.
But yeah. So the main thing I do, I put hardcovers first, paperbacks, and then singles, and you can kind of see that as you roll down through here. And that's the main thing behind the solicits. That's what solicits are. They just tell you what's coming officially, because we get little whiffs of stuff here and there, but these are the official solicitations from the publisher. And then the main, meat and potatoes of the site is the collected editions. So this is just like a massive sprawling database of everything from roughly now until as far out as I could find stuff. So the main way to use this, you can just read through it, or this search is extremely handy. One of the things I was telling Jess about, I could just type in like a date, boom, there's November.
And the search, where's the search? Because we didn't actually, there it is.
Right up here at the top right.
Okay. Up at the top right here.
Right under the, yeah.
Yeah.
This search, the plugin I'm using, this search is like super nice. It filters things pretty nicely. It'll search even things you can't see. So, you can just search for, whenever you search for Spider-Man, you get a bunch of stuff that might have Spider-Man in the title or might have Spider-Man in the collects area. But yeah,
okay.
That's the main thing.
Uh-huh.
Now, the main view you'll see when you're looking for stuff is the release date, the title, and what's in it. And then if you want to hit the little plus, every book has one of these. You get a whole bunch more info.
And that's really
right. This is kind of this is where you can get as much info as you want. You can see who it is, what the price is. I'll link to the publisher's website in most cases if I can find an ISBN for it. When you get to the publisher site, you get a little bit more info, like the size of the book and stuff like that. So you can see, is it a standard hardcover or an oversized, stuff like that. Mostly because I decided I'm not going to track stuff that incredibly specific, because there's just that you can just go to the publisher, right? Yeah. And then the other one, for convenience, I provided links so you can buy it. So,
oh, that's right.
So under purchase, there's links to, Bookshop, because that one has an affiliate link. You can use it or not, I don't really care. And then really just for your actual convenience, a link to IST and a link to Tales of Wonder. The main place people buy their stuff, which, as you can see, this is already out of stock. But the link is there. So, if I often myself will go to my own website on release day and click my own links, because honestly, the site's just as much for me as it is for other people. So I put things there that I find convenient, right?
Yeah.
So if it comes to the week of, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sit here and I'm just gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna do this, open a few of them, and when it's time, I start clicking links, because you guys may have noticed that recently, if you're not there within like 20 minutes, everything sells out at IST now. So some of those things are hot. So, it's just kind of an added convenience. I don't have like an affiliate link or anything. I just was like, well, I would want this, so I'm just going to put it there because it's convenient. Tales of Wonder, I couldn't figure out a great way to do it, but like the search thing kind of works. Sometimes they don't have it anymore. It's just not there. So that's how that works. I don't even know what it looks like if they still have it. Maybe this one. I don't know. It does work sometimes. If I go further out.
That's an excellent feature.
But yeah, that's the main idea. Just some convenience. And then, as I was mentioning before, you've got this more info where you can go to the publisher, or you could also see the previews listing for something as well, if you wanted to.
Ah, okay.
You get to see both. I have all the info, so I might as well use it for something.
Sure.
And if you're not in the know, if you're ordering from DCBS or something, that diamond code's usually what everything goes by.
Well, I think a lot of people feel, especially like right now, they are really in the dark about when stuff is coming out and what it's going to look like and what it's going to contain. And it just feels like we're sort of groping.
Shooting in the dark.
Yeah, and we don't really know what the release schedule is supposed to be. And so this really helps. I think it gives us something we can go to that's highly researched and filtered and convenient. And it gives you the opportunity to see the book too, and know that it's to the best of your ability that it's coming out on this particular day.
Yeah. And you'll notice even sometimes there's books in here where the previews listing is still wrong.
Okay.
Like there's stuff that comes out this week and preview still says like 10/28 or something. So a lot of times I'm just having to try to guess because I can't find the info.
Yeah.
Even in stock themselves are like, we get stuff like a week before. Like they send us a list of what's coming.
Right.
So this industry is sort of, COVID's definitely not helping. I'm sure this kind of stuff happened a little bit before, but I know things are super out of whack, which great time for me to start a website is when all of the release dates change on like a weekly basis. But
well,
it is what it is, right?
Yeah, I know, but this is better than nothing, and it's really good too. So it's way better than nothing. And I mean, IST, I know because I work with them because on Omnibros they sponsor our show, and so I have a friendship with Emily and some of the people there, and I know this is a perfect example of what's happened during COVID. Batman: The Man Who Laughs Deluxe was supposed to come out last week.
Mm-hmm.
They got shipped not Batman: The Man Who Laughs, but I think a book called The Man Who Laughs. So they had to send that back, and then they got it. They got Batman: The Man Who Laughs, but it was supposed to be last week, so they aren't listing it this week because they're not sure that they're actually going to, I don't know that they're actually going to be able to get them in time to sell them on Wednesday. So it may show up on Tuesday or it may not. And that's why you can't see it on IST's site yet, because they don't, I mean, things just get screwed up in distributing books. Since it was supposed to be last week and people can't find it, they think it's out of stock, but it really hasn't even been released from IST yet because of the
that's a good point you bring up too. You can tell the difference between whether it's been released or not. The links I generate, I just do them programmatically, right? IST uses this diamond code for a link to the page. If you click on it and it goes to an error, it hasn't actually been loaded in the system yet. Which is good because that means it hasn't sold out.
Okay.
Now, if you click the link like Infinity Gauntlet and it goes to unavailable, yeah, you're probably screwed.
That's bad news. Okay.
But and that actually will lead into another feature of the site that another member of the group makes. Molly makes the restock notices. So she has a little script. It updates this page automatically, and then she posts things to Facebook. And people send... We actually got like a lot of emails. Her script is very popular. You send us what you want to track. She adds it to the list. She does some scraping on their site, and if it comes back in stock, boom! It gets put onto a list. So anytime she finds something, it'll show up on this page. And she'll post in the group, and
Yeah.
you can also get email alerts, which even like I will see their email alerts before I even see that it's like on my site. Email alerts are super handy. So she's doing some cool stuff with that.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I know. I've seen those things that Molly posts, and those are really great.
It's kind of like maybe one day IST will have time to add an alert to their wish list function, but until then, this is like the best possible alternative to that.
Right.
And sometimes things come in stock and they stay there for a little while. Like I bet this is still here. See, that came in stock like a week ago.
Oh, okay. That's a great book.
So sometimes you can go trolling through this page to see, oh, is something, hey.
Yeah.
When they come back in stock, I think they tend to stay a little bit longer because the entire internet doesn't instantly know.
Right. Well, let's get into November's releases. And let's see. So yeah, there we go. We can get into November's releases. And these are books that we think you'll be interested in, or we're interested in, or they look good. We're not, whatever.
We like comic books.
Yeah. Okay. So the first one is Lucifer Omnibus 2. This is for the week of November 4th. I am planning on getting this.
I have already pre-ordered that.
You are? I did too. Now that I think about it, I do have a list. It's upstairs though. But you're, I pre-ordered this. I think from DCBS.
I had to make myself a list of what I've already pre-ordered, so that I wouldn't forget and order it again. Because
totally.
I'm an idiot, so that will happen.
I will absolutely totally order something again. So yeah, I have to. I definitely have to make a list. And interestingly, it says DC Vertigo on it.
I was noticing that too.
Huh.
I wonder if it's an old image or if they've actually stopped scrubbing Vertigo from the entire universe.
Yeah. Well, the first book that came out from Sandman Universe, I believe, that did not have Vertigo on it was Hellblazer. That was the first one that said Black Label. I think all the others have Vertigo.
Although it could still say Black Label on the spine.
For all we know. Yeah. Okay, so this is the first one, and I'm looking forward to it because I love that series.
I have the first Omni, but I've yet to crack into it. But man, I hear so much good stuff about this series. It sounds really good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And now I'm looking forward to this one. Plastic Man Rubber Banded by Kyle Baker.
Now, which run is this?
Sorry?
Which run is this? Like,
he did this a couple years ago.
Oh, because this is a newer one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe 3 years ago he did it.
Okay, so this was like almost Rebirth era.
Maybe. I don't know. My memory's not necessarily.
Oh, 2004. There we go. I was looking.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
It's taken that long to collect it?
Apparently.
Well, that's just memory is. I thought it was 3 years ago, and it's 15.
It's all blur to you.
It is. Well,
plus,
I'm glad
like the last year doesn't even count. So
I'm glad it's coming out because it's a good book, and he's a great talent. The next one of two covers of Venomnibus number 3.
I think I got the tongue one. That's the variant, isn't it?
I believe so. Is that the Diodato one?
Yeah, I think so.
That is the DM. Yeah, that's actually a really cool cover. Yeah, it's gross tongue, and that's the Sam Keith cover. And I didn't pull it, but there is an epic of Venom coming out this week too, right?
Yeah, it's not associated with any of this stuff, but it looks like a bunch of I'm thinking it's like the first appearances of Venom epic is kind of what it looks like, because it's got Amazing Spider-Man 258, 300, 315 through 317, 332, 333,
Hmm.
46, 347. There's a bunch of stuff. I'm not going to read the entire solicit. But
Yeah. Okay.
it looks like it's kind of like his first appearances and stuff, probably.
Okay.
Which
It must be his epic then.
Yeah, Marvel's printing that stuff all the time, but this is probably, well, it would have to be the first time it's been in an epic. So
okay,
if you collect those, that would probably be really exciting.
Yeah.
And then this Venom Omnibus, I'm looking forward to somewhat more because 2 seem to be filled with not the best stuff.
Yeah. Omar made fun of me for buying that.
I make fun of myself for buying it.
Yeah.
I didn't really know what was in it because, I I grew up in the 90s, but I didn't buy a lot of comics at that age. I kind of just had the comics from like the 80s that my uncle had given me. So there's this chunk of time I really don't know what came out. And I kind of look at it like a lot of it. But I was like, well, it's Venom.
Yeah.
The first one had some good stuff. It had like Lethal Protector and some good stuff. The second one, I don't know.
Now, this one's supposed to be better.
This one's got newer stuff. It's like end of the 90s, pushing into the 2000s when Marvel stuff really starts to pick up again.
Okay.
I don't know if it's like the best run in the world necessarily, but I know I've read parts of it. If I remember correctly, part of what's in here leads to Toxin.
Oh, okay.
Because I had that Spider-Man versus Venom, I think was one, or Venom versus Carnage was one of the books, and that's where Toxin spins out of.
Uh-huh.
So I know I've read some of this stuff, and it's probably halfway decent. It's got to be better than the second volume.
Okay. Well, I'm probably getting this. I sold volume 2 almost as soon as it came in because Omar made so much fun of me. So he totally omni-shamed me, and there's going to be a gap now, 1 and 3 of my Venom Omnibus collection. So I'm going to have to live with that.
I'm not opposed to that because I know some people get really just like, I can't have it be incomplete.
Right.
I already bought it. I'm going to read it. If it really is garbage, yeah, I'm going to flip it to someone else that wants it. Because a lot of people that grew up in the 90s, it's nostalgic for them. So,
sure. Cool.
I will sell it to those people.
Right. This is a Valiant book, Harbinger Wars 2. They still have some good writers. I think I see Matt Kint's name there. So I have Harbinger Wars 1, and I still collect these deluxe editions.
Oh, this one's a deluxe. Okay.
Yeah. So I probably will get this. And I'm due to continue my readathon probably winter of 2022 is when that will happen. I have absolutely no idea when it's going to happen. Infinity Saga Omnibus Thanos. There's 2 covers for that.
Yeah, this is the one that's got all of the recent little mini books that Starlin's been doing, right?
Okay, yeah.
That's cool. And it also may be for like the 3rd time, like the last time that Starlin's going to come to Marvel because they keep pissing him off.
Yeah. Yeah, he said he got more money for the appearance of Steppenwolf in Justice League movie than I don't know that they gave him anything for any of the Avengers movies with Thanos.
Got something for Thanos. Probably not.
He got more for the tiny little appearance of Steppenwolf. Yeah. DC shelled out more dough than Marvel did for this major character. Yeah. So yeah, you're right. He gets pissed off, and I don't feel like.
So the latest one is because one of the stories in this book is very similar to, I think, Lemire or maybe it's Cates's run on Thanos.
Oh,
so he got really mad at them for letting them put it. Like, he's not mad at like Cates or Lemire or anything. They're just writing stories. But he's like, why did the editors like greenlight this story that's almost exactly the same as mine? So,
right, I remember hearing that now.
I'm still looking forward to reading it. I bought the little hardcovers and I was waiting for them all to come out, and then they announced this, and I was like, ah. Like, this is oversized. This is an upgrade.
Oh yeah, it's a big upgrade.
So
That I think I like. I'm not a big fan of head floating covers, so I like this one better.
it's very Starlin though.
Yeah,
It's very
true.
reminiscent of Infinity Gauntlet and stuff.
Yeah,
got that 80s vibe,
right.
80s, 90s vibe. That one is cool though. I may have gotten
What week
that.
are we in now? I think we.
We in the 11/11
Okay,
now.
we're in week. The release date is November 11th.
Yep.
On these. Okay. And this is a reprint of X-Men. One or two?
Uncanny X-Men Omnibus Volume 2.
Two. Okay.
Which I know people will be very excited for. Because these things go out of print quick.
Right. And I figured out why I couldn't find the DM version is because the DM version is this same image only done by a different artist.
Right. It's just the original. Because I think this,
what's that?
Which is which? I think the original is the variant.
Okay.
Which is slightly, a little different coloring, different art, but it's got that old school.
Right.
Layout and everything.
Clicking on the link on your page, and I was like, I can't find anything but this one cover. So this cover done by a different artist.
Yeah. If you looked at them back and forth, you'd be like, oh, I see now.
Yeah. Okay. So
that's actually, I have the newer one, and I thought I had the variant for the same reason, because they are literally the same image, just done by different people.
I'm pretty sure I have this pre-ordered. This next one is going to be I think this is going to be a really big one. Road to No Man's Land.
We're at 11/18 now.
This is 11/18. Okay. The beginning of November. When's X-Men?
11/11 still.
Okay, and here's the beginning of November 18th.
Yep.
Batman Road to No Man's Land Omnibus. I'm happy with all the paperbacks, so I'm just going to keep that, but I know a lot of people are looking forward to this.
Me.
You.
Yeah.
Okay.
I missed. Again, I didn't read comics in the 90s, from the 90s, so I'm catching up on a lot of stuff, because this is 90s, right? Is this after Nightfall?
I think so, because I don't because Nightfall put me off Batman for a while, and so I don't remember this storyline.
Okay, yeah, this is 1999, so it would have to be after Nightfall.
Yeah, I didn't read Batman for like 10 years after Nightfall, so
that explains why you didn't read this one. You go back later.
Yeah, and this is already coming out in oversized hardcover. Jeff Johns and Jason Fabok. I've seen some of the art, and the art is remarkable.
Very good art. We were laughing about the variant cover over in the chat, because the variant cover is like, you take this cover and go and zoom in, and that's the Barnes & Noble exclusive variant.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that one.
It's so very slightly different. That's why we were laughing at it, because it literally was like they took the black lines and just and that's all they did.
Oh, okay.
So if you've heard about this variant and you're like, oh no, where do I? It doesn't. It's barely different.
Okay. And this is the Brightest Day, Blackest Night collection with all the rings.
That is a big boy.
This is if you want the whole set, and I think it retails for $300. But this is a way to get the entire 2 events and those cool rings, which I remember I got at the comic store, so I still have them.
I think I had a couple somewhere. I can't remember now. I still have the buttons from Flashpoint. I know that much.
Oh, cool. I don't have those.
I have a couple of them. Rings, I thought I had like a red one and a green one, but yeah, I remember that was cool.
Yeah. And next, when is a lot of people, including me, have been waiting forever for this. What week are we in now?
I think we are still 11/18.
Still 1118, East to West, last book, year 3 of Hickman's amazing story. I'm very, very excited to read this.
Me too. I think Hickman is best read all at once.
Right.
Because similar to Grant Morrison, it's just insanity.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot better if you read through so you don't forget everything.
Yeah.
So I read the first volume, and then I was like, this is great, but I'm just going to wait till they're all out because there's no way I'm going to remember all this.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a great book, though. I just love everything Hickman does.
I agree with that, too. So I'm excited about this book a lot. And this is one of 2 covers for the Excalibur Omnibus. I think my preference is for this classic cover, but it's up to the
original, and the variant is the British flag one.
Okay, that one. Yeah. So I don't know. I'd have to check my list to see if I pre-ordered this.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I'm like, did I get this?
Yeah.
No, I haven't read the, I didn't read it in singles or anything, but I was like, everyone seemed excited. It's probably Omar, because anything with X-Men in it, Omar is like a little kid at Christmas.
Exactly, yeah. Let's see.
I did buy it. I got that cover. That cover, that's the one I pre-ordered.
Okay. And I think, are we into the last week yet, or are we still in 1118?
Still in it. There's actually, this is going to be a big week.
Oh, Paper Girls Book 3 also comes out that week? This is going to be exciting because I love Paper Girls too. I just got 1 and 2 of that because they did a restock, I guess it would be, not a reprint. They restocked it recently, so I grabbed both of them. I've heard good things. I love it. I really. And then I started getting Lumberjanes because as soon as they announced the series, I was like, "Oh no, everyone's gonna buy them up. I better get the first one and see if I like it." Oh, Lumberjanes is great. I have a whole video on Lumberjanes. How much I love it. People really love it. So yeah, Paper Girls, is this the last book? The last one. Okay. Yeah. That's something I really like, just as a side note, about like indie books and just like not Marvel and DC, is you get these nice self-contained stories that have an ending. Yeah. Because I've been reading a lot lately of my like non-Big Two stuff, and it's really nice to just read a story and just be done with it. Mm-hmm. You know? That's a good Black point. Science. I went through Ex Machina, Why the Last Man, just like a lot of stuff, big epic things with an ending. Yeah, that's been really nice. That's why I'm like, the last book came out. Great, I'm gonna read all of it. Yeah, yeah, I'm really excited for Paper Girls and East to West, and this is the long-awaited JLA by Grant Morrison. That's gonna be a big boy. This is a big book. How many pages is this thing? Let's see here. Wow, oh my God. 1,500 pages. This is going to be a biggie, 1,500 pages. Oh my God, how did they even fit that into a book? Is this $150? $150. Yeah. It's I'm going to keep my oversized books because 2 reasons. One, it took me a long time to track them down, and those things went out really quick. And so as soon as everyone started getting excited about them, they were gone. Because I was also trying to get them, and the prices were outrageous. I think this is just too big of a book. I have War of the Realms, and that's the size of it. I think so. I mean, if you have the Realms. If you have the original deluxes, I'm pretty sure this is the exact same contents. War of the Realms, yeah. I think it does add on Earth 2, though, doesn't it? It does cover Earth 2? It does cover Earth 2. Okay, I have that already. Right, because there was a deluxe of that, too. Yeah, I have that. That's a good book. So, and I will say, too, good to know, they are putting out a Mark Waid book that covers the stuff that's not covered in this.
I'm just gonna mention
Tower of Babel, rather.
yes, which I'm
Nice.
super excited about.
When is that coming out?
JLA Tower of Babel, the deluxe edition. So it covers JLA 18 through 21, 32 through 33, 43 through 40. It's literally the stories in between what this Omni doesn't cover. And that's coming out in April. April 27th.
Nice. Because that's book 5 is way hard to find right now. And that's what it covers is that Mark.
Oh, does it? Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I was really excited to see they were putting that out because I was like, oh, thank God, because it was going to be so annoying. Because Tower of Babel, yes, it's not part of Morrison's run, but that book was great. I have the paperback. It's one of the first Justice League things I bought.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to see that getting collected into the deluxe. Which is, the fun thing about making my website is I see every single book, so I pretty much can remember. Aha!
Right.
I can't remember to take my trash out on time for trash day, but I can remember that there's a book coming out in 5 months. So,
and this is still November 18th?
Yeah.
Okay. How about this week? Is this November 18th?
This is the next week. Criminal. Yes.
That is a boss. Okay, this is 11/25. This is a boss cover. Everybody's been waiting for this. I know I have been, and my partner in crime for Crime Corner, Taylor Brown, is very excited for this book, and so am I. So I really want this. And you said you just discovered...
They just solicited the reprint, or actually, they're not. They're sort of new versions.
Okay, yeah.
New printings, I guess, is what that would be considered for volumes 1 and 2. And they just announced those in the January 2021 solicits. And those are coming out in April 14th.
Nice.
So deluxe edition 1 and 2. And that means if you're ordering from DCBS, it's going to be in this month's order.
Okay.
So get volumes 1 and 2 if you haven't.
Right, and they'll match this cover. They will all look the same-ish theme.
If you want, I sent you a link to the solicit. They're the first 2 on there. You can show off the covers if you feel like it.
I don't know if this link is live.
Oh, yeah. That's fine, too.
Let me try at the end.
Yeah. Or you can go see it on my site.
I'll try it at the end. I can figure it out.
Yeah.
This book is great. Supersons, the expanded edition.
So I have a little comment about that. Okay. Some of you may be confused as to what this is. They already put out a Supersons Omnibus. It's the same content, plus what is the series called? Adventures of the Supersons. So it's, as far as I can tell, it's exactly the same as the previous omnibus, plus Adventures of the Supersons 1 through 12.
Yeah, where I have Adventures of the Supersons. Here it is, right here. Adventures of the Supersons. These 2 books are what's in this omnibus, besides the original omnibus.
Right.
And I highly recommend this book. I love this book. Conan the Barbarian. This is 1 of 2 covers. This is the Kurt Busiek stuff. It is not an exact pull from the Colossal Conan, because some of the stuff in the Colossal Conan was not Busiek stuff. This is just going to be the Busiek stuff from the Colossal Conan. And I think this is just the first volume. I think it's going to take 1 or 2 or 3 books to make up that thing. But this is the Busiek stuff, and this is a good way to get it.
Oh, okay. 2004 series. I see. FYI.
Okay. Justice League International Volume 2. We're on the that. I don't know that that's the cover.
It says not final cover at the bottom.
Yeah, I've seen something different for that.
I have right now out there?
For JLI Volume 2.
I bet if we went to Amazon, they'd probably. Oh yeah, this is the one I've seen. It's just like a bunch of boxes with faces in them.
Oh, okay.
Justice League International in the middle.
Oh yeah. Okay. But JLI is coming out, Volume 2, at the end of November. This is the Bwahaha era. And
I ended up pre-ordering this because of Chris over at Comic Tropes had this big passionate video about this whole run.
Oh.
I was like, dang it. Now I'm going to have to get it.
And I've heard nothing but good things about Detective 1027. So I decided to wait for the deluxe edition. But this is supposed to be a lot of really good stories, according to several of my sources who are annoyingly picky about everything. And that would include Riley Moore, who says this is a really, really good book. And for him to say that, it's a good book. He's very picky about his stuff.
I mean, dear God, look at all the writers on this thing.
Yeah.
They even got Bendis, Rucka.
Yeah.
Morrison, of course. Snyder.
Grant Morrison, Snyder. Yep.
Tomasi. Man.
So I'm way excited for this book.
I got that. Actually, I just got my my shipment of singles. And this one, like, they put it in a normal bag and board, and it's like, it's waiting to burst out of there because it's like this thick. It's one issue, but it's like an $8 issue, and it's like super thick.
Do you get your singles from where? DCBS? Yeah. Okay.
I do a mix of singles and hardcovers and stuff.
Yeah.
So I just got this, and I was like, oh my God.
They really crammed it in there.
They did.
And this is Hickmans Avengers Complete Collection 2, right? And if you don't have the hardcovers, this is a good way to experience the amazingness of Hickman. And Avengers has to be read all at once. If you take a break of like a day, you're going to have to go back and start over.
That run is pure insanity. It's very typical Hickman.
Yeah.
This one looks like you're still pretty close to the beginning here with this complete collection too. It looks like, not a lot of content in this. They're not very far in yet.
Well, it's still a good way because that book is way out of print. The Omnibus.
If you're trying to get it and you're cool with the paperbacks, this will be the series for you. Yeah. I'm guessing there's probably going to be like, I don't know, maybe like 5 of these.
That sounds right.
Just based on this. Yeah. So prepare.
This looks cool. Jeff Lemire writing the question. I'm in.
I'm very intrigued.
Yeah.
I'm
Dennis Kyle Sienkiewicz. Okay. I don't know who does the interior art, but that cover is boss. And I love the question.
Yeah, I had never really heard of him before I watched, but he was in Justice League a whole bunch, the cartoon. And then 52 had a thing with him, and then I think someone takes over for him. But yeah, that character is really like very interesting. And then there's the whole history behind it with like Steve Ditko and him kind of writing him sort of close to his ideals and stuff. So he's a very interesting character.
Yeah.
He pops up every once in a while and stuff that's cool like this. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. And yeah, I wonder if the interiors look like as crazy as those covers do.
Yeah, that cover looked awesome. So that is it for November. Thank you for tuning in. Chris, thank you for agreeing to do this. And if you like doing it, I would love to have you back next month to do it again.
I'll do that.
everybody go to comicreleases.com, which I will put in the description, and it is very thorough. You will be very happy with this website because it's everything you want in a website, and it's very easy to use.
That was the goal.
A lot of websites are not. I mean, if I say it's easy to use, it's easy to use.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
Okay, good. Okay,
and I do have a feedback page too. If you notice stuff is like wrong or you have a suggestion, throw it my way. I'm working on this stuff all the time. So,
okay, that's good. Everybody out there, thank you for watching. Please leave a like or hit the like button, subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment. If you have any comments for Chris, I will give him a link to this video and he can answer them himself. And thank you for tuning in. Peace and love. Peace and love.